Well, greetings YouTube, LMS Tactical here. I sent that little video out explaining kind of why I've been absent, dealing with my sick dog, and unfortunately she had to be put down, so that's that. I made a video about it already and I'm trying to move on. Not easy, but what the hell. Such is life, right? Listen, I've had a couple of requests to do something on prepping, and on the one hand I think, geez, you know, what else can I say about it? But on the other, I thought maybe, because I do have some new subscribers, I'll do a really quick sort of a prepping 101 video. Make sure you keep an eye on him. There's snakes all over this place. I don't mean attorneys, I mean actual snakes. But for example, I would ask each of you to ask yourselves the question, what do I have if the lights, so to speak, went out today, if everything shut down, whether it was an EMP or martial law or whatever, you were forced to stay in your houses. My dog's going crazy. It's really hard to make a video here when I got an attack going on. Get him, Charlie! Get him, Charlie! Get him! Get him, Charlie! No, don't do that. Hey, that'll chase Buddy around. You know that. Yeah. Don't do that. No, you're gonna get him hurt. Take it off if you want, but don't do that. Edit that out. Okay. Anyways, yeah. So if the lights went out today, what do you have in terms of material to sustain you, and for how long? And you got to be real honest with yourself. I mean, if you open up your pantry and you got 3 cans of Spam and you got 7 kids and 1 bag of you know, Mr. Ben's rice or whatever, you're probably not ready for the situation. A lot of times when we prep, we imagine that this is something that's probably never going to happen, and we do it just to give us a little bit of comfort, or it becomes almost like a hobby. But the reality is, the shit can hit the fan any second, and when it does, it's generally without warning or just with a little bit of warning. So you need to be alert to what your situation is. Some examples that I'll use are for, I've had a habit for years because I come from earthquake country, which is California. You know, I always look at the halfway mark on my gas tank as the empty. You know, some people see it halfway, I see it as an E. I don't let my gas get below E because I don't ever want to be one of those guys that's trying to bug out or get home from work or whatever in the middle of an emergency situation and end up with no gas. You don't want to be one of those people at a gas station in line while people are shooting and killing each other. So just try to get in the habit of making sure that all of your cars never get below the halfway mark in terms of gas. If you don't have enough to sustain you at your house right now for any length of time, let's just talk about a week. Give yourself, you know, pick a number. Let's say a week. If you don't have enough food and water stored for 1 week, then start doing that today. And if that means going to the store and buying 2 items that you don't normally buy, or a larger version of it, or you go to Costco, or you're on such a limited income that you can't afford anything too big, then literally 2 cans of Spam. Now you got 2 cans of Spam that you're not going to use but are there for your emergency. You got them in a specific location, and that's 2 cans of Spam that you didn't have, you know, yesterday. Okay, and be thinking of water filtration. You know, start Googling around on the internet things. You know, what can you do on the cheap? Ask other people on this channel. Ask other channel people. Ask me. I can, you know, I'm not an expert, but I can steer you in the directions that I've gone to get things. I don't have an extra, you know, a big flow of cash, you know, that I can spend on this stuff. But be thinking. I guess the message here is to start thinking more in terms of now, as opposed to something that's going to happen way out in the future. You got all this time to get ready for it. I bet you the people in Israel have a lot of things on supply because, you know, granted they had a little bit of warning, but sometimes they might have been a bad example, but sometimes, you know, other countries and other groups of the Earth's population, you know, they get hit out of the blue with whatever it is, an attack from a neighboring country, massive economic collapse, whatever. So just start thinking in terms of what you have right this second. Do an inventory today. Don't put it off. Remember, I'm the master of procrastination, and it's the worst habit I have. So make it a point that before you go to bed tonight, you're going to list down the things that you have, things that you need. That would, at least on a minimum, I'm talking about people that haven't started to prep yet, get you through 1 week. Once you have that, that will get you motivated, and you can start moving on to some more serious prepping and long-term prepping. And there's plenty of videos on this channel and other channels that can help you with that. And if you have specific requests, I can talk about things that are specific in nature in terms of shit hitting the fan. So anyways, short video like I promised. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope the rest of your weekend's great. LMS Tactical, I'm out.